Young dragons, not to be confused with the rapper, are the age of dragons you're most likely to fight, and are possibly the most deadly relative to the party's level. Or the least deadly, I didn't think about it that hard. But I'm gonna beat the dead horse that is explaining why challenge rating is a joke and more of an extremely loose guideline than a rule. A party of 4 Eldritch Knights is gonna perform a lot differently than 4 Hexblade Paladins. Rules! Also, they're in the description. I'm gonna start with the strongest dragon and see if the strategy still works with the weaker ones. Gold and red dragons are tied for the highest challenge rating, but gold dragons have good brain stats, and that matters for this, so we'll focus on them. At challenge rating 10, the party's going to be level 6, and the arena's going to be an 80-foot cube. Before I get into what the best classes are, let's talk about the dragon strategy. Dragons are pussies if given the chance, so it's absolutely going to stay at the very top of the arena and spam its breath weapon until everyone gives up and goes home, assuming their home is the afterlife. So we're either going to need ranged options, a way to keep it on the ground, or both. This strategy is going to require some of the worst multi-class options I've ever seen. The first thing I thought of was 2 Divine Soul Sorcerers and 2 Moon Druids with 1 level of Sorcerer. Druid Sorcerer is a pretty shit multi-class, but bear with me. The first thing the dragon's gonna do is use its breath weapon, but it won't deal enough damage to down anyone as long as they all cast Absorb Elements, hence the Sorcerer levels. Then the Sorcerers will both yell in unison, "Excuse me, could you please land, bitch?" The dragon has a 55% chance to pass the save, which means it has a 30% chance to pass both. But if the sorcerers both use Heightened Spell to make their command more commanding, it'll only have a 9% chance to pass both. The dragon will then land, go prone, and end its turn right at the feet of the 2 druids who just summoned 2 polar bears and then turned into 2 polar bears. The bears will then proceed to take the dragon's insides and make them outsides. The sorcerers are going to repeat the command spam each turn, and according to math, it'll take 4 turns for the druids to kill the dragon. And in that time, the dragon has a 32% chance to decide it doesn't give a shit what the sorcerers have to say and start setting everyone on fire again. Yikes. Okay, so that plan fucking sucks. Maybe 2 druids isn't the best option. Having the dragon out of commission like this seems like the only way to guarantee a win, and command is the only spell that's gonna take the dragon out of the fight this easily. So the sorcerers need to stay. I just have to figure out what other classes can deal enough damage to end the fight before the dragon breaks free. The best options are either fighter, barbarian, paladin, or monk. Echo Knight fighters go all into the Spider-Verse on the enemy, getting 3 attacks per turn instead of 2, which with Action Surge is 12 attacks. But after the first round they get tired and need to take a nap, so that's no good. Paladins with 1 level of Hexblade of course get those juicy smites, Hexblade's Curse, and Hex, but they just can't land enough attacks to get those smites off. Barbarians, yeah, to be honest, I don't know why I included them. And finally, monks have Stunning Strike, which will increase the odds the dragon doesn't get a turn. It has +9 to con saves, never mind. So it seems like the druids have the highest consistent damage output. There just isn't an option that can deal enough damage fast enough. Except, maybe there is? Okay guys, I promise Magic Missile isn't the answer for everything, it just happens to have been the answer for everything so far. If 2 of the sorcerers cast Command and the other 2 cast Magic Missile, they'll deal even less damage than the druids by the 4th turn. Shit. Gosh, if only there were a way to guarantee the dragon fails the save so 3 of the characters can attack instead of 2. Yeah, so they're all gonna be an even worse multi-class. They all take 1 level of Sorcerer to get Command and 5 levels of Divination Wizard, which gives them the ability Portent. They roll 2d20 at the start of the day, and once per turn when they see a creature about to roll a d20, they can choose to have the creature use one of their Portent dice instead. Now they can force the dragon to fail the save as long as they roll below a 10 on their Portent dice. Now obviously you can't just wait around for a good day of Portent rolls. This dragon's really causing problems. Murder, theft, tax evasion, this guy's gotta die yesterday. So how many low rolls can we reasonably assume the wizards will have? Well, out of the 8 dice, there's a 93% chance that at least 2 of them will be dragon unwisifyingly low. Which means we get 2 guaranteed rounds where the dragon can't do anything, as well as the first round where the dragon used its breath weapon. Can 3 wizards kill the dragon in 3 rounds? No, but since the 4th wizard doesn't need to cast Command a 3rd time, he can jump in on the 3rd round still no. Okay, well it looks like they're gonna have to hope that the dragon fails the 3rd command save. That adds another 6 damage for all 4 of them. Yeah, that kills the dragon. Thanks, Spuddy. Again? Problem! If they're all goblins, the highest their charisma could be is 16. I was basing their spell save DC off the assumption it'd be 18, so I guess 3 of them will be goblins and the one casting command will be a tiefling. That still works. Okay, so a 93% chance for 2 good portent rolls isn't amazing, but I have a contingency for if you only get 1 good roll. You force the dragon to fail the first save, and then on the second round, when it actually gets to roll, all 4 wizards cast Silvery Barbs, forcing it to roll 5d20 and take the lowest result. That spell's stupid. The dragon has a 95% chance to fail the save and a 100% chance to die. Well, I'd say a near 100% success rate is pretty solid. Now let's see about the other dragons. All of them are deadly at level 4 except for blue dragons, which are deadly at level 5. At level 5, the party's gonna have an ability score improvement and 3rd level spells. So the hardest is gonna be a green dragon. Because the breath weapon is poison, the wizards can't use absorb elements to take half damage. Also, since they don't get an ability score improvement, the dragon has a higher chance to pass the save, which means they need lower rolls on their portent dice to make it fail. Okay, I can do this, this is fine. The breath weapon has a DC of 14. Since their first level is going to be sorcerer, they're going to have a +5 to their con saves, and all 4 of them are going to use one of their high portent rolls to automatically pass the save. So everyone survives the first round. If they don't have enough high portent rolls to make everyone pass, then we'll need a healthy dose of hoping for the best. Now we have the problem of the low portent rolls. If all 4 of them are goblins, there's only an 89% chance that 2 of the rolls will be low enough to force it to fail the save. So just like before, the character that casts command is going to be a tiefling while the other 3 are goblins. That takes all of the odds back up to where they were for the gold dragon, and the dragon dies 99% of the time. But yeah, that's how you kill young dragons. See you next time when I talk about Rakshasas.